Arts Academy for organizing this training. Maybe I'll just introduce myself for those of us that don't know me yet. My name is Rotimi. I'm the convener or pioneer of Tech-enabled teachers community. And it's a pleasure to be here again. Like I said, for those of us that are just joining, if you are not speaking, please mute yourself. It will cost, it will be a lot of inconvenience. Tukur, you have to be the one muting people because you started the call. I don't have the control to mute people. So you have to, from time to time, check in. When you see any distraction, please go in and mute whoever it is. You all right. So please, if you are joining the call or if you want to speak, just raise your hand. There is the raise hand button. Maybe let me share my screen and show us where it is. The raise hand button is just at the bottom. I can't show it because it will loop, but just use that button to raise your hands and I will respond. There will also be times for questioning so that we can be sure that we get all the questions answered as much as possible. So today I would cover two AI tools that I think is very, very critical for you and very user friendly. One will focus on easing your work in terms of preparing lesson materials and preparing resources for your class, and the other will help you generate easily worksheets. So those two platforms are what I will demonstrate today. And I know as you prepare for schools, you're already working on a lot of resources and planning to use resources within your class. So these two tools will really help you. It's free. You should not, you don't have to pay for any of the full version because at this level, whatever you want to do, you are able to do it with those particular tools. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. I don't have any PowerPoint presentation for this. I'll just share my screen so that you can see what I am doing. Let me see which one is better for me to share. Alright, let me share my let me just share this screen because this is the one I'm recording on. So let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, you can thumbs up and do all of that. Alright, great. I can see that a lot of people are able to see my screen, which is fine. Okay, so today there are two tools that I want to show and I want to demonstrate. I will start from sign up until proper usage of both, and I hope that you are able to follow me and you can see what I'm doing. So the first tool is called is it okay, let me pull up a Canva slide so that it's easy for you to see what I'm let me just do sorry. I'm trying to just pull up a presentation so that I can just type directly on it and you can see. Sorry, just give me a moment. So let me just bring this canvas screen to my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Again, if you can see my screen, please do some thumbs up. Alright, so there are two of it. I would focus on two, but I will also talk a little bit about the last two. So the first is Brisk Teaching, the second one is Diffit, the third one is Magicschool, and then the fourth one is FLINT AI. I'll focus on the first two today. I'll talk a little bit about the second, the third, and the fourth, and you can always go online and subscribe or sign up for them. They are quite easy to use. They technically do almost the same thing, but at different level of accessibility and convenience. So the first one we're starting with is called Brisk. Brisk is very useful and very user friendly, especially to teachers. You would enjoy Brisk the most if you have a Gmail account or a Microsoft account, but preferably a Gmail account because it synchronizes with your Gmail account. Now, to also leverage on it and use it even better, it is good that you sign into your Chrome. At the top right hand corner here, if I click on this, you see that my profile, I'm using this dummy account called student, but for the sake of this training, is signed into Chrome. So that means that profile is created on Chrome, and so anything I'm doing on this Chrome is tied to that account. And we're going to see why that is important, especially in this training. So to to go to Brisk, you just need to type it, Brisk Teaching online. Just type it, and it's always going to be the first you will find on the browser on your search results. So you click on it, and then you say click on Get Started. Excuse me. Get Started is pretty simple to use. It would immediately recognize that, oh, you have a Gmail account, or it will ask you if you want to sign in with a Microsoft or a Gmail. So I would log in with my Gmail. I don't have to type in because I already signed into my profile. So I'm going to choose this profile. That's the one I'm signed into, and it will tell me, okay, Brisk is asking for permission. So this way you don't have to always provide username and password. So long as your Google is signed into your Chrome browser or your Firefox browser, your Google account is signed in, you'll be able to authenticate easily without using a password. So I click on continue, and that would automatically log me in. So I am logged in. Now the next thing is, it is not an app, it is a plugin or is an extension. So they made it in such a way that it works with Chrome browser as an extension, as an add-on. Kalista, can you mute please? Kalista and Daniel, can you guys mute please? Tukul, can you mute them? You need to be on the alert to mute people. Yeah, you need to be on the alert to make sure that you mute anyone. Alright, so it brings you here. It now says to add it to Chrome. So you click on add to Chrome, and you would come up with a pop-up, add an extension. It will automatically add, and it brings you where it says get started. Now one more thing that you need to do, at the top right hand corner of your browser, Chrome browser, you will see this icon. That is the icon for extension. So I will click on it, and then you will see, if you have multiple extensions, you see all the extensions, but this is the Brisk extension. What I want to do is I want to pin it. When I pin it means it will appear here by default. So I'm going to pin it, and you see it's showing up here. Then I'm also going to set up some settings and say I want Brisk Teaching, this can read and change sites, so I want it to read every site. I want you to see all sites. If you set it to all sites, means any site that you open to, you can use Brisk AI to do stuffs on that set site, whether it's YouTube video, PowerPoint, Excel, anything online. So that's why it's necessary that you make sure that this setting is set to all sites, not when you click extension, just all sites. What that does is it will provide this icon on every site when you open the site. So I put it on all sites, and that's done. So I can get started. You can tell him what your role is. I'm a teacher. What do you teach? You can put it here. I'm just going to say um, TTC. Continue. You do whatever you. No, I'm not asking you a question. I'm not asking you. I'm just saying I'm filling the form. All right. So it will ask you others. You can choose which subject you're teaching. So, for example, I'll teach. I can say maths. You can choose as many subjects that you teach or others. Then you click on continue. It tells you which grade level. This is just to customize your experience. You can decide to skip it or leave it. So I'll choose. You can choose anyone. You can choose all of them. You can even choose university if you teach in university. Click on continue. How did you learn about Brisk? I'm just going to say training. I found out by training. Next. Then it's telling you pin it, which is what we've done. We've already pinned it. I pinned it already. And then TTC, you want to get referrals or invites to people, you can just skip that. Now the next thing is pick one. What do you want to do now? You can pick anything, uh, but I'm just going to say try the tool. All right, so we're done. You see that anytime you go to any website, you will see this tool, and so that is how you start. So let's start with a scenario. Let me just go to a website. I'm just going to go to, for example, um, let's just say, I just want to use this to just show you. I'm going to Channels TV Nigeria. When I do that, immediately I click on any article. Let's say I click on this. You can see that the icon is here. So every site you go to, because I say any site you go to, the icon is going to be there. And what that tells you is that you can use this icon, this AI tool now, to do anything you want from this particular website. I will not do this because it's a news channel, but let's go to YouTube, for example. So I'm starting from YouTube. I'm just going to look for any particular video on YouTube. I'm just going to say, let's say, for example, calculus 1. I'm just looking for a video on calculus. So I find a video. As a teacher, I've gone through a video that I like, and I want to use it for my class. So I can say, okay, let's click on this one. When I click on this video, work is easy because I use ClickUp. So here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done. All right. Let's go over the entire. So this is the calculus video, and I can see that icon. I don't know if you can see it. You can move it around. So I can see it's always going to be on the side here, but you can move it around. So let's say I move it here. Then I click on it. Immediately I click on that. Let me put it here. Immediately I click on it. You see, it recognizes that I am on YouTube. It recognizes that I am on YouTube. And then every tool here is now available. So first of all is I can click on create. When I click on create, then it opens up and asks me, what do I want to create? So based on this YouTube, I can create a quiz. The AI will watch the video and create a quiz from it. I can create a rubric. A rubric is a set of requirement criteria for whatever you want to do. I can create, Yusuf, please mute yourself. I can create a syllabus. I can create progress report, resources, exemplar, lesson plan, all from this YouTube. I can create what is called depth of knowledge questions. It checks the depth of student knowledge about anything. Um, I can create a decodable text translation, mass spiral review. I can create a PowerPoint presentation. I can create a podcast. We'll get to that. I can create a guided note, unit plan, sub plan, and all of this you can create directly. Um, it's going to leverage on this YouTube. So that's one example of the use case, that you start from a YouTube video. So, for example, I can create a lesson plan from a YouTube, and then when that lesson plan is created, I can now create a quiz from that, or create a PowerPoint presentation from that lesson plan, and then eventually create a quiz from that lesson plan. So you see how you can easily build up from resources that you have found online to lesson plan, or to lesson notes, or to whatever it is, and then you can create a presentation, and then you can create a quiz. I will work, we'll decide a topic in this training, and then we'll go through all of that together. So this is for YouTube. Like I said, it works with any website. So let's look for um, any website. So I'll just say addition in grade. Okay. So let's say I'm an English teacher. I want to look for a composition online, article on adverbs. For example, I'm just saying. For example, let's say. All right. So let's look at BBC. So I come to this website. If the website is not blocked, if it doesn't block it, because some website protects their resources from AI. Elon, can you please mute yourself? So if the website blocks it, then it will be blocked. If the website doesn't block it, then it will allow you watch it. So this site protects itself from AI crawling. So this would not work. Let's look for another one. Just going to look for. I just want to try out and show you how this works with. Okay, so now this is a website that everything you need to know to master adverb. So it's here. Let me just accept all. So you see all of this article. Now I can decide I want to work on all of this website, all of this page, and then I click on that, and then I can do the same thing. You see, it recognizes that I am on a website. But let's say I now highlight, I see a section of the website that I like, or that I want to focus on, not the entire page. I see one section that I want to focus on. So I pick this one, comparative, and then I highlight it up until this point. When I click on that, it will also show me selected text. That means these are the texts I want it to work with. So you have opportunity to select a text, or to work with an entire website, or to work with an entire resources. It really doesn't even if it's a PDF that you found online, you could still use that. Um, whatever resources, so long as it's online, you can leverage um, on Brisk to do all of that. So I'm an English teacher. I saw this article that is very good, and but I teach. The article is at the grade level, reading level of a grade 10 student, but I'm teaching a grade 2 student. What can I do? I can change the reading level. I can create so there are a lot of things you can do with it. So like I said, you can click on create, and it shows you a list of everything you can create. That's in the create library. But here I have this article that I like, or this teaching material that I like, but it is not suitable for my younger kids. Or I like this article, the way it explains things, but it is too low for my adult kid. I can change the level. So I can say, okay, I need you to um, it has assessed the reading level and see, oh, this website's reading level is grade 11. Now I want it to reduce it to the level of a grade 1. Okay, I do that and I click on. So now I want to create the resources. I will show you how. You can't see my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so if you, all right, thank you. You can mute.
Yes, sir, I can see your screen.
You can mute now. If you are not able to see my screen, then you should disconnect and connect again. All right, thank you. You can mute now, please. You can mute. So yeah, you can mute. Thank you. So now the next thing is I've selected this text. The first example is you can reduce reading level or increase reading level on whatever article as a language art teacher. This is a use case for you. So I have this article or this material that is at the reading level of a grade 11, but I am teaching grade 1. But I like the way that it explained the concept, so I want it to now express it at a reading level of grade 1. And that brings you to how do you create resources. Immediately you pick that, you see here it says output format. How do you want it to be outputted? If you click on this, you can output it as Microsoft Word or Google Doc. If you output it as Microsoft Word, that means you have to have Microsoft Word installed on your computer. But I want to use my Google because I have a Google account, so I'll leave it as Google Doc. Now when I click on change reading level, it's going to start creating that content and it's going to open it up in my Google Drive, and see it's picking up everything that is on that website. The next question is, how do I access this? So you see it has broken it down, and it has finished. It's now asking, what else do you want me to do? So let's leave this article first. So you can see I have reduced the reading level. So let's compare the two. Adverbs are what that tells us how we do things. We can use adverbs to compare things to. Let's see what this website says. Adverb can also be comparative or superlative. But look at the way it translates it to a grade 1 level. Adverbs are words that we can use to tell how comparative we do things, and we can use it as adverb to compare. So this is superlative and then this is comparative. You see how we took that same content that is meant for a grade 11 and reduced it to the level of a grade 1. So this is, I have created this material now, and where did he put the material? Like I said, it's tied to your Google Drive. So if you go back to your, alright, so the document is called grade 1 level, everything you need to know to master adverb. If you go into your OneDrive, it will put it there. So that is one way that you create. Anything you create, it will put it in your OneDrive. If you decide to export it as a Word document, then it goes to your desktop. You will not be able to use Brisk with anything that is not online. That is the downside to it. It has to be online. So I have created these resources now. The next thing, let's just assume I've created these resources. I can still work on this resource. I click on that icon again, and then what do I want to do? I can say, okay, I want to create, let's say I want to create a quiz out of these resources. I click on quiz and it tells me you can change language. Unfortunately, there is no Nigerian language for now here. So, but you can present it in different language. If you teach French, you can you can do Spanish and French from there. All right, so I want to create a quiz. What should the quiz cover? I can just give you the instruction: create a quiz on adverb from these resources. You don't even have to see all of that. So Remember, I'm teaching a first grade student, so this is first grade. What, can you mute yourself, please, David? I am. I want it to be either a multiple choice or short response or long response. So for the sake of this training, I'll make it a multiple choice. How many questions do I want? I'll just say 10 questions. You can tell it to include sources if you want it to include source. And then I'll just brisk it. And then immediately it would open the Microsoft form. It will ask me, because it will ask me to sign into my form. I'll click on that account, continue, to ask for permission. You just give it all of the permission. This will happen only once because this is the first time you are given access to your form, and it's loading. Immediately it creates the form, it will open it up. You can then take this form, put it in your Google Classroom, or share the link with people, with your student, and they can respond. The beauty of it is whatever resources it gives to you, you are also able to edit those resources and to work on them. All right. So while this is working, um, let's try out. Okay, let's let this work. Then we'll do another thing. So for the YouTube, like I told you, let's say we want to let's create a lesson plan from this YouTube. Let me go over again how it works with YouTube. You search for a YouTube video, especially one that has transcript. You search for a YouTube video, you click on the icon, and then you tell it what you need it to do. So this time around, we are going to create a lesson plan on calculus. So I'll click on lesson plan. Create a lesson plan about this YouTube video. It's calculus, so I'll give it to, let's just say, grade 9. The lesson plan, my lesson is going to be 50 minutes. I want you to put um, the source. I want you to code the source. You must have noticed something here called standards. Now, because this is an American-based software, it it incorporates all the syllables and all the syllables of the American curriculum in here. So for those of us working in international or American schools, we know what standards mean. They are just their syllabus or scope and sequence of a course. So if you click on it, you'll see you can select which syllabus you want it to cover. So you see Canada. I don't think there's New York. Can you mute, please? There isn't anything about Nigeria here, but you can see for the most. Can you mute, please? Can you mute, please? Bill, Tukur, please, can you monitor if the feedback gets into my ears? All right, so you can see different states in the U.S. There's Australia curriculum there. I think there should be the UK, ISTE, and all of that. So you can use that to select high school, select the standards you want, course skills, and then you can tie that to the question, and it will build a lesson plan from this calculus based on from this YouTube video based on the standard that you choose. Yusuf, please can you mute yourself, please? This is becoming too much of a distraction. All right, so let me go back again. Um, we wanted to build a lesson plan. So grade 9, 50 minutes comparison note. If you have prompt history, you can also save your prompt history and you can reuse them so that once you've crafted a prompt properly, for example, you use ChatGPT to craft your prompt, you can also save it and then reuse them multiple times. That's what the prompt history is for. So lesson plan, um, create a lesson plan from this YouTube video. It came by default, but because I have moved it, that's why then you brisk it. It will do the same thing. It would open up and then start generating the lesson plan. Let's go back and see if our form is ready. It didn't open the form. Let's see. Okay, this is grade level 9 lesson plan. It's opening that. Did it create the form? Let me check if it's finished creating the form. Okay, so it didn't. Let's look at the lesson plan. So this is the lesson plan. It's creating a lesson plan. Again, you can go in and make edits to all of these plans. So we started with a YouTube video. We've created a lesson plan. The next thing I want to do now is I want to create a presentation for this. So before I go ahead with that, I can scroll down. You can edit understanding discontinuity, lesson overview, materials needed, and all of that. Again, you can always go in and make your edits. Let me reload it. Okay. So you've made all. You put the link to the YouTube video because you asked it to cite the sources. You put the link there. So my lesson plan is done. It's also well structured. You can see it has tabs and document tabs all around it. The next thing I want to do is let's click on Brisk. Now I want to do a presentation. I want to create a PowerPoint presentation from this lesson plan so that it will help me in delivering my lessons. I click on that presentation. Describe the topic of your presentation. I'm just going to say it's a 10 slide presentation, grade 9. I want to also include sources. Here, if you click with image, anything you see that has a star means you have to upgrade. You have to upgrade. If you want it to be stylish with all of the images, then you pay for it. If you don't, if you're satisfied with just, you can always add your images to it. You can just do without image. So I'm asking you to create a PowerPoint presentation from this. Next is you just click on next. There are some templates, so it's not really without image. You have some free templates. So I will choose this template and then I'll brisk it. Again, because it's the first time it's going into PowerPoint, it's going to ask me for control, for access. I continue, and let's see if it will create that PowerPoint presentation. Okay, I set it to 10 pages. Let's see. Okay, so it's already preparing it. The slide is already here. Yeah, it's still loading. Just give it time to load. Please, can you mute yourself? Oladokun, can you mute yourself? Tukul, can you mute Oladokun, please? Oladokun, can you mute yourself, please? Alright, thank you. Alright, I think this is taking quite some time, but it will generate the PDF PowerPoint. Let's just give it some time. Let me reduce this to 3 questions and let's see. Submitting. Okay, still submitting. Okay, It's still working. It's just relatively slow. Don't know why today. All right, we can come back to those. Let's allow them work. It's for the Google. It's still saying submitting. Maybe because the resources isn't that much. Submitting. Let me see if I refresh it. What will happen? Hmm. Let's create another quiz. So the quiz you can change. You can do what? Google. Let me just do. Yeah, still we want to do Google form from this web page. First grade, multiple choice grade question. Just grade. Oh, okay. So the form. This is Google Doc, Google Form. So this is the quiz. It's creating it now. What do you when do you when you want to compare how two people do something using adverb that ends with "ly," what word would you put in front of the adverb? So I asked it to create a 3-question quiz, and you see immediately it set the questions to be compulsory. Then you can go in and edit how much it makes it a quiz. It's immediately going to get it marked, and it set it to one point each. So if you see it, it sets the questions to 1 point each. And so and the quiz is ready to go. You just you need to assign it to people, and they'll be able to take that quiz. Let's see the presentation if it did create the presentation. Okay, so the quiz is there. This is here. Let's try this again. I'll brisk it. Let's choose the presentation again. I will reduce this number of slides just for the sake of this training without image. Um, create a presentation from this lesson plan. I click on next. I choose maybe, let me just choose another one. Okay, I choose a maths. And then I brisk it. Did I change the page? Number of, okay, immediately created, sorry. Yeah, so it's creating it and it's generating it. See what's new. So let's see. So we started from a YouTube video. We created a lesson plan. We created a quiz from that lesson plan. We created a PowerPoint presentation. You can also create a lesson note. You can create whatever it is you want to create. And as you work with documents, you can keep brisking it. You see, it's asking you what do you want to do next. Click next. You want to give feedback to work. You want to change the reading level. All of that is available. So again, let's say who pinned this guy? All right. So again, if I want to take this slide presentation to a next level, I can still brisk it. So what else can we do? Give feedback is when if your students submit their work, you can provide feedback based on their work. We don't have to go into that. But let's say you can add slide. You can actually translate the slide. But let me do something else. You can go into library. You can create unit plan. You can create now. Let's talk about podcast. A lot of times we have different kind of learners. We have visual learners. We have auditory learners. We have different kind of learners. So there are some learners that they can just see things they know. Some needs to watch it, and sometimes you can just create an audio, and that's where this podcast comes in. So let's say I have a material, and even for you as a teacher, you can use this to study a material. You have a huge PDF, you just brisk it and create a podcast from it. What that will do is that it will create a podcast like conversation between two people, and they will be discussing that material in depth. You can download it, put it on your phone and listen to it, or you can download it if it's a lesson material or a lesson note you want your students to continue to engage with. You can download it and share it with them on their Google Doc or whatever and they can keep listening to that in-depth analysis or discussion around that topic. So let's use that for this presentation. I want to create a podcast from this presentation. So I'm creating an educational podcast about this presentation. 4 to 5 minutes is paid. 9 to 10 minutes is, so I'm going to create it 2 minutes. The beauty of this is you can break your content into short and then create multiple, because I have a 6 slide presentation. It might be difficult for you to discuss it in 2 minutes. So I can delete a few slides, or I can duplicate the slides, take and just say, okay, do two discussion on two slides, and create mini discussion on two slides, and I can send all of those in multiple, or I can use a software to stitch it together and have a long podcast. That is if you don't want to pay. Really don't need to pay for this. So there's 4 to 5 minutes, there's 9 to 10 minutes. So 1 to 2 minutes is free. So let's just see how that goes. And then the next thing you do is you brisk it. Right. Once you brisk it, it's going to come here, and then you'll be able to preview. The beauty of it is it will show you the transcript of the conversation. Let me see if my sharing, if you can, let me play this and then you'll see. I don't know if I did sharing with audio, but just do a thumbs up if you can hear this conversation. So it's a 1 hour, 1 minute 30 seconds transcript. So
welcome to Maths Made Clear. I'm Priya, and today we're exploring something that might sound scary, but is actually quite fascinating: discontinuities in functions.
Hi everyone, Marcus here. Think of discontinuities as the broken bits in...
So all of you can hear you can hear it. So it took that your lesson plan and is breaking it down with a conversation, two people explaining it. So it's even more exciting for you and for students, where they don't have it in such a way that you can put your own voice, but nonetheless, you can do that. So you can hide the transcript, you can download it and share with people. There is what is called Boost It. Now this is when there's a paid part of this account that allows students also use Brisk. And so let's boost it. So you click on Boost It. What Boost It does is Boost It allows you to create an engagement for students. So student can engage with this as a chat, as a tutor, or as a debate, or they can brainstorm, or even as an inquiry. Again, you guys can go and play around with this. So let's look at a chat character. So when you want to boost it, you can create a tutor for a student. Create a tutor activity about this web page. So let's not use this one here. Okay. So anyways, you can download this. It's easily downloadable, and you see it has downloaded, and then you can share it with people all around. It downloads it as an MP3 format. So everything I've shown you with this Boost It can also be used by documents. So let's say, for example, I have a PDF. All I've shown you now is something that is online. But let's say you downloaded a lesson material, or you have a book that your school uses, and you take a picture of those books. And that's the beauty of AI also, that if you have lesson notes or lesson material or textbook,
sorry about that.
you can take a picture.
Okay, we're at the point where
I
I demonstrated Boost It, but I want to also present you some use cases. A lot of times you work off of a document that is soft copy and probably won't be online. So if that's your case, what do you do? Again, Brisk It allows you to do that. So here you will see an icon. It's an icon for attachment. Here is an icon for home. You can go home, and then it brings you to this place. Here, you can see this is the website now, the home for the website. Where we started from was the app, the plugin, or the extension. So from the extension also, you can click on attachment, and you see you can bring an image. So let's say, for example, you took a screenshot of a math textbook. You can bring an image of a math textbook into it and create your lesson plan, create your presentation, create your quiz based on that. If you have a PDF or you have a Word document, say, let's say, for example, you went to a website and you downloaded the lesson plan as a Word document, you can bring it back into here and do everything that I have just shown. Sorry, I have a little bit of a headache. You can bring everything back into it from here. So I know a lot of us still deal with a lot of textbooks. So nothing is lost on you. All you need is a camera, take a picture of it, and then bring it in. And you'll be able to do all of these things. So let's say I take a PDF. Again, you can directly pull it from here. Let me see. I take this PDF. Okay, the size is too large. So unfortunately, because it's not the paid one, you have to reduce your PDF to a certain size. Let me see if I have a PDF. So it picked that PDF. That PDF is not big enough. So this is a PDF of a communique based on, I did a communique to NTI today based on the training, the conference, because there's some sort of partnership where we'll be able to work with NTI to train their teachers. So this is the communique, and I brought it into Brisk. So it sees it. What do I want to do? Now I want to create. So I can create a podcast from this document. And then I listen to the discussion around the document. But another thing I can do is, like everything we've talked about, I can create a quiz, I can create a syllabus, I can create all of those from it. And then I can do what I wanted to show us now. I can do a boost activity. Let's say I have a resource and I want students to debate that resource, or I can do debate. So I'll set up a chat. It's going to create like a chat room for students, protected and secured. The student will go in. I, as the teacher, I'm the one that initiated it. My student goes in and they engage with, oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Thank you. But I am. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I can see your screen, sir.
All right. So whoever is not seeing my screen, you need to sign out and join, disconnect and connect again. So I can get my student to debate this article so that I can see their own perspective. I'll create that chat room. I can see everybody's engagement, and we're going to do a demo for it now. Or I can say, let's just say, let's create a tutor, but not a debate. This is not, so anyways, let's just create a debate. I'm going to create a debate from it. So create a debate activity about this file. It's grade 9 student, and I'm going to boost it. So what it will do is it will create a chat environment. It creates, click on next, whatever, done. So is getting it done. So review these resources, review the learning objective. Let's go when you're ready. So I'm going to say, let's go. So welcome to our debate on blah, blah, blah. It's creating a debate environment. So what I need to do is I can now click on this, share this activity with students. So when I click on the link, If you are on your computer, what I need you to do is I will copy this link. So if your students are already on Brisk, Peter, my screen is showing. You need to come out and join again. A lot of people can see my screen, and I can also see my shared screen. So what I'll do is I'll copy this link and paste it in the chat. I want you people, as many as are using their computer that can do this, just join. Click on the link and I will show you an example. So let me bring up an incognito window and I will act as a student by myself. So this is my incognito window and I will paste it so that you see what the students will see. Now, so this is students. Welcome, students. So I'm going to write my name, John Doe, and I'm going to join the class. So this is it as a student. I, as a teacher, I set up the activity and the student is supposed to engage with it. So you can see at the top here is John Doe. Let's see what I would see as a teacher. It goes in and welcome to our debate, blah, blah, blah. So this is, I set it up as a debate. You can set it up as a different thing. But bottom, you can even set it up as a tutor. Maybe I should have set it up as a tutor. If I set it up as a tutor, means it's going to be teaching the student based on that material. This is more better than getting your student to go and use ChatGPT. Why? Because you are the one that created the material and you created the environment and you are also able to see what they are doing. I can say type 1 for pro and 2 for curious AI. So I'll just put for 2, you. Then it will, again, just different kind of excellent choice. You're arguing. So I am arguing that culture's AI position. Now let's build your opening argument from the conference report, which specific concern about AI, blah, blah, blah. So the bottom line is I just want to show you, I might not engage with this, but I just want to show you what you can do with this, that as a teacher, you can set up an activity and you'll be able to see which of your students, what each one of them are doing. So I can see now that mock students have joined. I can see that John Doe have joined. I can view what they are doing. I can see what John Doe is doing. So I can monitor how their engagement are with the AI. So imagine if I set it up, I have a lesson that I have taught them, but I want them to continue their learning. I can set up a chatbot like this, put the resources, lesson plan, lesson note, and all of that, and put it there and share the link with them. They join and interact. The team teaches them. And I, as a teacher, I can go in and see their interaction with that resources to know whether they are really engaging or they are not engaging. There are a lot of use cases for this. You can download the chart. So if a child is messing up, or you can even use this to grade them. You can use this to grade them, and you can download the chart to keep it as an example or as an evidence of what you're doing. Once you are done, you can pause the session. The moment I pause the session as a teacher, no student will be able to do anything anymore on that. You can see their progress. The first progress was for them to construct logical evidence base. So it's really useful. So I can pause it and the student will not be able to do anything anymore once I have paused it. If I refresh now, it will tell me this chat has been paused and the student cannot see. Chat has been disabled by your teacher for this workspace. So I prepare material, create a chat room, which is called Boost It activity. The material is shown to the student. They can read through it, they can review it, and then they can engage with it depending on what I set for them to do. So that's one of the ways you can also use Boost It. So you can use materials online, materials offline, and all of that. And some of you might be wondering, can this understand maths question? So I would give an example of that. So I'll go online now and just look for a maths question, maths calculus question. I'll look for a calculus question, and it will be an image. All right, so let's take this image, for example. Let's say I take a screenshot of this image. Let's see if the AI will recognize a complex stuff like this. So I have this image, then I would go, I want to attach, so I go, it's an image, I would attach the image. This is the image I just downloaded just now. Let's see if it's able to translate that image. Okay. So maybe I want to create, I can just create, let me see. What can we use to, all right, so I would boost it. I'll create a boost it activity and say tutor, so that you see how the tutor works. Create a tutoring activity about this file. So I want this guide the student on how to solve this equation. All right, so that's what I wanted to do. So grade 9, I wanted to guide them on how to solve this equation. So I'm boosting it. I'm boosting it. I'm creating learning objective. Let me see. Let's see the learning objective. Apply fraction decomposition to simplify integrand. Integrate resulting, combine integrands. So these are some of the learning objective. I can edit the learning objective. I just want it to solve. I can just say, so it gives you learning objective, but you can remove the learning objective. My own learning objective is just guide the student on how to solve this equation. That's the learning objective. Guide the student on how to solve the equation. Then I create let's go. Then I share with share activities with student. I'll copy the link again. Go to myself as a student. Let me see. Incognito mode. I'll sign in. Oh, I didn't copy I didn't post the message again though. Let me post the link so that a few of us can join if you want to join. I'll post the link in the chat. You can click on that link and join as a student. If you're free, the link is on the chat. You can click on it. So where is this? This is John Doe. Well, hello, I'm excited to help you walk through this integral. Looking at your integral, let's start by examining the denominator. Can you try to factorize the expression? I will tell you, no, I can't. Because it's supposed to guide me, right? No worries. Let's break this down into smaller steps. For factoring x squared plus x minus 6, we need two numbers that multiplies together to give minus 6 and add together to give minus 1. Let me give you some pairs that multiplies. See which pair adds up to plus 1. See, I ask you to guide the student. So even if the student keeps saying, I don't know, it will keep further breaking it down. So this is boosted activity as a tutor. You see that it takes exactly what is in the screenshot. It recognizes it and is beginning to engage. So for you as math teacher, you don't have a problem. You can do that. So if I want to monitor the activity as a teacher, I will still be able to see that. So I can see as many students have got in. Only John Doe is making progress. I see that Jamil, Ezekiel, Emmanuel, they all have not started. Okay, I see that Jamil has started. So it's real time online, and it shows you 2 out of 4 students have started the activities. You can monitor that. You can see 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5. So this is very useful for you as a teacher. Again, the beauty of it is you can also, so let's say you have a Google Classroom. You can share with your Google Classroom class, and your student will be able to have access to it. So that's the beauty of Boost It on Brisk It. Brisk It is very user friendly, and I would advise you to leverage on it. So if you can start from the plugin, like I said, or you can go to the home. The home just brings you into the web application of it, and everything you've done before, you can find it under recent. You see, I did a boost, I did another boost, I paused that boost, I breaking point, I created a tutor, I created a podcast. So all of that are things that I'm able to do. I can see from my past that I did. And here also, you can be able to do attach, upload file, attach file from your download. You can do every of those things. You see argumentative structure, thesis development coach, counter argument generator. There are a lot of features both on the web app or the application or the plugin itself. Let me just see if there are other things that are worthy of note that you can do. But everything you see here on that create, you are able to use it to create it. Before we move to the next one, I see that Idaya Rufai has a question. Can you ask your question before we move to the next one? All right, Code Kids Niger, if you can go ahead and ask your question too, if Idayat is not ready yet. You raised your hand. Please ask your question.
Yeah. Beautiful afternoon and beautiful morning, sir.
Morning. Okay.
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Yeah, my question is this: can it let's assume I have let me say a non-verbal reasoning page or something like a quantitative page, and these bricks work using the podcast menu? Can it work and explain to the kids?
So if it is non-verbal, what do you mean by non-verbal? It's just diagrams, right?
Yes. Explaining diagrams and how they are.
My best advice with you will be for you to take a screenshot of it and use the image so that it sees it as an image and it can read it. If you are using a website, most likely, well, I think it can do, because in the first lesson plan we created, let me bring it up. The first lesson plan we created, it actually pulled an image from the website itself.
From the website, yeah.
Yeah, so you can try it out. I haven't tried it. You can try it out yourself. But if it doesn't work, just take a screenshot of it and put it as an image, and then do whatever you want to do.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, Hidayat. All right, Hidayat doesn't have a question. Okay, so the next one that I will.
Good morning.
You are in a call. You have to mute and then ask from the speaker, from the computer that is connected.
My question is, can I plot graph on it? And if I'm teaching something like accounting, can we also do some accounting calculation there?
So whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to draw a graph, you can draw the graph and then put a picture of it into it. So long as it can read what you are giving it, it should be able to analyze it. Some of these use cases I haven't tried, but if you have an accounting spreadsheet, it's not the volume is not from my end. So if you have uh, so if you have uh, this also works with spreadsheets. So if you have a spreadsheet, a PDF, you can upload it. It will read what is inside it and be able to provide you with relevant information that you need. So yeah, so long as you're able to feed it with the information you want, it should be able to help you with stuffs. Ezekiel Oludare. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Are we in the morning? Oh, sorry, we are still in the morning. Thank you for this training. Sorry, when you shared the first link, I joined late, but I saw something. I saw a website. I don't know if it is linked with what you are training us with when you displayed the screen.
Huh?
Redo. Does it have anything to do with the brief, anything? Because I discovered that when I joined, that was the website I saw, Redo. So I don't know if it's related with, if it has any link with bricks that you are teaching us now.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I just use that website as an example of the fact that you can open a website and then use Brisk on it. It was just a
Oh,
sample website.
okay. Thank you very much.
The name of the tool is called Brisk Teaching. Somebody is asking in the chat. The video will be available. I think I might put it on Brisk Teaching. All right. Because it's almost. All right. Okay. Okay. So Ezekiel, you asked your question already. Idat asked Code Kids Nigeria. You have a question.
Yes, I'm sorry to disturb again. When you were working on the podcast, you switched to 1 minute and between 1 minute and 2 minutes. You said something that if you don't want to pay for the premium subscription, there is something we could do, but then my network was. So
All right.
I don't know if you do it now.
What you could do is, let's say you have a 10-page document. If you do a 10-page document and you want it to really have an in-depth discussion, then it cannot be a 2 minutes discussion, right? So what you can do is you can break down your document and feed it in one after the other. So you first do the first 2 page, you download the 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. You do the second 2 page, you download. You do the third 2 page, you download. You can use a software to stitch all the audios together, or you can just read them as a playlist.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Abdul Malik Abubakar. Okay, so the next one is called Diffit. So now this is very useful because it has a different approach to it has a different approach from Brisk.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, afternoon. You have a question, yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Thank you for this wonderful presentation and enlightenment. Please, I'm an Arabic teacher, and from what you've explained so far, I don't know if me as an Arabic teacher can actually have full access in sort discussion in a class between me and my students, talking about debates and other activities that have to do with the classroom.
All right, so I'm trying to get an Arabic site now, and let's see what Brisk. You see, there's also Brisk there. This is an Arabic website, right? Okay, so before I do that, it tells me I'm on a web page, right? So, but let me close it. Let me copy this Arabic. I'm going to highlight. Okay, so you go from right to left. So I'm going to highlight this text. Okay. and then I will do this. So it sees that I have done a selected text. So what do I want to create? Let's say, for example, I want to create a lesson plan, and I'm going to change it to Arabic. Okay, so it's Arabic to Arabic, or I could do English website to Arabic. So let's try Arabic to Arabic first. I'll create a lesson plan. Let it load. Then let's see how it goes with what it can do. Now I'll go to an English website. Let's change this website to English. No, so this is now English, and I will do the same thing. Then I will create a lesson plan again, and I will say so now this is English to Arabic. I've never done this before. We're just going to see how it works out, and then I'll brisk it. And so let's see how it happens. See, it copied Arabic exactly. This was the first one was Arabic to Arabic, right? Now the second one is English to Arabic. So he understands it and is converting it. Once this activity finishes, then I can boost it. I can do every other thing. Now, I don't know whether the boosting will boost it and the presenters will speak Arabic. I'm not sure. We can try that out. But you can see that you as a teacher, so long as the language is there and you have options, good thing is Arabic is a global language to a great extent. So most of the platform recognizes Arabic. So you can see that we did English to Arabic and it translated it into Arabic, and then Arabic to Arabic, and it's writing it. And you, again, because of context and because of...
Sorry, we're not seeing your screen, sir. Sorry.
Are you serious? No, my screen is being shared.
I can see it very clear here.
Yeah, so you need to come out and come in again. My screen is shared. All right, so let's try to boost it and see if no, not boost it. So boost it, yeah, you can boost it. But let me try podcast and see if it would podcast it in Arabic, for example. Again, podcast in Arabic. Create a podcast. All right, so let's brisk it and let's see if it will be in Arabic. If it happens, then that's interesting. Okay, the transcript is actually in Arabic. You can see, and then let's play it.
مرحبا بكم في
So it's in Arabic.
التاريخ والعلوم. أنا فاطمة.
وأنا أحمد. اليوم سنتحدث.
So you see, you are not left out. So it did everything for you in Arabic, actually. So that's quite impressive. Didn't do that before. So the same thing if you are teaching French, if you are teaching Spanish, so long as that language is there, you should be able to get all of this that we just showed done. I've never really tried this before. That's interesting. Let's wait until they are able to also do it for us in house and language. All right, so that does that. Okay, so the next one is called Diffit. I will post the link. What's it called? Let me post it in the chat. So this is Diffit. The first one we did was Brisk. This is Diffit. Diffit is a platform that allows you create resources, learning resources of different types, graphics. It's really, if you are, especially for lower levels, you're teaching grade 5 downwards where you do a lot of worksheets, then Diffit is the place for you. Again, don't always look at the pricing. There's always free version. Even me, I like Osho free. So you go to home, and then let's see how you get started. Try it for free. And then you sign in, or you create a free account. Again, it's seamless with Google. There are other options, but I will always prefer Google. So I choose that same account that I used. Authorize. And then I'm a classroom teacher, blah, blah, blah. I teach I teach the whole world. That's nice. And then I just say creative writing, for example. You can just fill as many as you want. Where do you work? You don't find it. All right. So let's start with first books. It gives you access to a whole bunch of free resources in terms of free books online that you can, if around the world in 80 days, blah, blah, blah. So you can do that. You can look for books, or you can also search by authors. You can upload text, PDF files. Again, if you have resources on your desktop, you can upload it, and then we'll see what you can do with all of those. If you have vocabularies, let's say you're a language arts teacher, and let's say you have vocabularies that your teachers are learning, your students are learning. Let's say learning, jumping, crying, sleeping. I have these vocabularies that we're working on as a student. Let me start with that. And I'm a grade 5, grade 2 teacher. Again, they have standards. Some of them are not Nigerian standards, but some of them are useful. You can, no, I don't want that. You can also do pages, slides. So I want to generate resources. So it's going to generate different kind of resources for me based on those vocabularies. And then you see how it goes. This is a platform where you can use in generating a lot of resources. So I gave it different kind of vocabulary. So what did it do? It created a story for me based on those vocabularies. Okay. Reading summary, as I can create something for students to read. List all the vocabularies, review key vocabulary, learning, and all of that. It created questions for me. Multiple choice question, short answer question, think and pair questions, vocabulary match questions, and all of these are ready to be downloaded. And there are other activities. See, it's a platform that allows you create worksheets, different kind of activities. So I gave it just those vocabulary, and it created different kind of activities for me. You can shorten the reading length if you want. Custom will be upgraded. You can shorten medium, 5 length. You can continue to shorten that. You can modify the reading level, remove information, rewrite with vocabulary, include more details. You can edit it and it will update for you. You can change the style, change the tense, change the image, remove image, and all of that. Now, so I have all of these, and each one of them you can also do, you can add more vocabulary, you can change the activities. If you want to change the activity on this one, you see there are different worksheets. So this one actually just is used to create different kind of worksheets. You can see all the worksheet that you can create. Based on just those activities that I gave, I can have as many of these worksheets. Say, mean, matter, explain. And these are based on different concepts or different learning concepts. Questions, if you want activities on questions for just that text that I gave it. You want graphic organizers, summarize learning. So you see based on that activity, and then you can also modify. Now, in terms of export, you can export. You can export it as a Google Doc. All of these ones are paid. These people are not serious. You can actually, if you have a paid service, you can export it to your Google Classroom, or you can download it as a PDF. You can print it. So this is majorly for materials, generating of materials. Now, that's what we just did. You can also link it or Google Form. Well, all of these things are now paid. Doesn't mean it's paid. Okay, let's go back. So I can create a Google Doc. I can create a okay. PowerPoint is coming soon. Word document. I can export all to Word document. Let's just export to Word document now and see how that looks like. So it creates a worksheet, and then now I'm exporting those worksheets into a Word document. Let's see how that works. Exporting. My advice for you on this is just play around with it. You see, you can actually share to Google Classroom. So let's say, for example, I'm a teacher in a Google Classroom. I can share to my Google Classroom. It will ask you which classroom do you belong to. So let's say I belong to this classroom. I am not a teacher. That's why. If I were a teacher in this, if this student was a teacher in this classroom, I can share it to my Google Classroom. But I would open it as a Google Doc. Let's see how it opens it up as a Google Doc. You see, it opens it up as a Google Doc for me. Now I can give this as a Google Doc assignment to students for them to go and answer and work on. All that I did, I can now start adding image directly to this also. I can put image in there. And all that I did was that I'm teaching my students 5 vocabularies, and is able to create as many activities around those vocabularies as possible. All right, let's go back to, I thought I logged in. All right, so that's the first one we did. So you can see, and when you go to my resources, you'll be able to see all the past resources that you worked on. Let's go back to create new. The same thing, I can copy an article from a website. Let's say I copy this article from a website. I can paste it here. I paste the article here. I can change it to fictional text. I can also level it. I can change the grade level of reading. So this is at one level. I can make it to become a grade 11 level, and it will change the level. So if I generate it again, it's going to change the level of reading to that of a grade 11. And it will create as many reading materials as you want also. See, the echo of algorithm. The same 5 words that I'm learning, and it changed it all into different things for me. Let me share something else. So you can upload files also. Let's see, what did we do before? Let's say I do this. See, and I can generate resources based on that file. Let's just do this. So let it do that, and then this time around, you can export it. You can, if it generates question, you can export those questions directly to PDF, to Google Forms. Presentation is not available for now. It says coming soon. So based on that material, he created this image, created these resources. Let me go back and see different other types of activity. I want to go to questions. Let's see if to modify questions. Short answer, short lines. Let's export. Let's export to Google Form. Reading level. So I wanted to create a Google Form. It's going to create a quiz based on what is inside that worksheet. So this is how Diffit is different from Brisk. Diffit is a platform where you want to create worksheet. It will create the worksheet for you. Now, what we just did now was to create a Google form, and it helped us to create the Google form, put everything in Google form for us, and ask questions. So these are all the material in the spreadsheet, in the PDF file. It put it as a reading, something for you to read, and then at the end of it, it will ask you questions based on what you've read. Both long answer, short answer questions, and then multiple choice questions. So that's Diffit. Then the next one I'm just going to quickly run through. If you have a question on this, for Diffit, it's pretty easy to use. You just decide which kind of material you want, and you can keep iterating, adding question, changing question. It really is quite easy to use. The other one is called Magicschool. Magicschool does relatively the same thing, but the beauty of Magicschool is that you have a lot put together in one place. And that's one great benefit to Magicschool. So you're an educator. So Magicschool also does, the last time I checked, they've not started doing the podcast, but they do image generation, and there are a lot of ready-made templates for you in Magicschool. That's why it's very user-friendly, and it's one of the most popular AI platform that schools use, because it's really built for teachers, and it has a lot of resources in it. It's easy to sign up, just like you see. I have already signed up using my Google profession. I'm an educator. You can location. Oops. Okay. Just Nigeria. Thank you. Abuja, Nigeria. Okay. Next. I accept. So Magicschool has created tools for you as a teacher. All you need to do is just click on it, type in, and it will generate. That's one of the beauty of it. A lot of tools. So you see teacher tools, you scroll down, there are so many tools: text summarizer, song generator, depth of knowledge, social stories. It has a lot of tools, and these are already ready-made. Okay, so yeah, let me just, it's Magicschool AI. Magicschool AI. A lot of school uses this. So for example, you have class newsletter. You can create and generate class newsletter, letter of recommendation. They have a lot of tools for teachers. So you don't have to go to ChatGPT and thinking of how you want to craft your prompt. These ones have already been tailor-made. I want a thank you note. I just go there and click on it, and it will create a thank you note. So thank you note for what? You can even add a file, and then it will generate a thank you note for you. They also have their own chatbot, and it's called Rena. So Rena is a chatbot where you can engage, and it will teach you. Inside it also, they've partnered with Adobe. They have an image generator. So it can literally just generate an image. So I can say, I want to generate an image, and then you type what image. Okay. Continue as student. I need to sign in. I need to sign in for the first time. But since you have, it wants to first know that you're not a, yeah. For example, I hope you will not penalize me that so you have to sign in, but you can use your Google account that you used in Magicschool to sign in. All right, so let's see what it will join. A boy in Osho the market, hawking bread. So it gives you a one-stop center where you can do all of the things: image generation, song generation. I don't know if they have video generation, but this is what it brings. And then you can save it into Magicschool and use it subsequently. I have that image saved. I can use that image. Let's look at, you can try out all of that: multiple choice question assessment, worksheet generator. Let's look at email to family, email respondent. It has a lot of dedicated tools for teachers that you don't have to think. You just need to provide it with prompt and information. So let's say for lesson plan, let's see how it works. So lesson plan, you can add a file that you want to create a lesson plan of. And then it is a grade 3 lesson plan. Topic is respiration, for example. If I have a file, I add a file. If I don't, I don't. I can just say, I can set standard. If I don't want to set standard, and you see the image I brought, I can use it if I want to. I can ask it to also do a web search for lesson plan on respiration. If I don't want it to use web, I disable that. But I want it to use the web because I didn't provide it with much. And then I just click on generate. So it will generate a grade level 3 lesson plan on respiration. The beauty of this is also it's formatted for you to use it directly with Google, and you can also edit different section of it. I would advise also that you go around and play with it. So the lesson plan is done. So you can share your lesson plan, and you can always find it in whatever you do. You can always find it in your output history. It shows you the things that you've outputted. This is my lesson plan, and this is the image. Magicschool for Student is where you can create rooms. You can also do all of this, but you can also create rooms, which is an example of what we did with Boost It. You can create rooms, share the link with students, they can join, and you're able to monitor what they are doing. So that's, Rena is a chatbot. You can create a chatbot. You can tell it what you want it to do for you, and you guys can. So it's more like their own version of ChatGPT, but it is made for schools. The beauty of this is that they've trained it with school-related and valid data. it most times don't hallucinate like ChatGPT. It's they have done a lot of research and narrowed down the data that they feed it with. So it's more school friendly. And that's why a lot of school uses such platform that is tailor made for schools. All right, so I think that's, and then you can see all the resources. FLINT AI is almost the same thing as this. We might not have time to go into that, but you can just, it's called FLINT AI because I need to start for free. I think this is still, they've allowed users now. Most of them works directly with your Gmail. You just need to click them to start. Let's see if it, then it works, sets up your Google. FLINT AI is good with, as a teacher, it gives you 80 students. But the beauty of FLINT AI is that it is not just, it does not just replace, it leverages on, it goes beyond lesson planning and generating content. This one is more about tutoring. You want to create activities, chatbots for your student to work with, especially if you're a maths teacher. You can create a graphical. I've used this. It understands maths. As French teacher, I can teach French. So you can upload your materials, put it in, set the criteria, and then engage the students. So this one is not really about lesson plan generation. It is that you are able to create a teaching assistant for yourself. That's what it leverages on. Theirs is not so much as replacement, but augmenting teaching. You are able to set up teaching assistant, and students will be able to. And the beauty of it is you can also set those chatbots to grade students based on their engagement with the chatbots. Maybe we can have another session on this one, but so as a teacher, you sign up for this, it gives you 80 students. You can add 80 students to your platform, and they will be able to interact with all the stuff that you are working with, and they can engage on their own. You create spaces, students can come in, you can monitor what they are doing, and you can give the chatbot specific instruction, and it will not deviate from those instructions. It can help students solve different complex issues. So yeah, they just introduced chat. Chat also allows you, is an AI system that allows you learn or teaches you anything you want to learn or teach. So you can leverage on this too. I think those two are things you can look into. If we, maybe in the nearest future, I can organize sessions around this. But for today, just leverage on Brisk and Diffit. But I would say Brisk is much more user-friendly. Brisk is much more user-friendly for you to use. All right, so I'll post this link here, FLINT K-12. You can check it out. There are a lot out there, but I think these ones are ones that you can use to help you do your work as quickly as possible. All right, I'll just have like 20 more minutes for questions. Really having headache. Then we can round it up. Any questions? All right, Ezekiel, you asked a question.
Yeah, I thank you for this. Actually, I've been exploring some of these tools you just mentioned, but at least there are areas in which you touch which I still believe that I can still explore. Um, about lesson notes is the issue of materials to use, instructional aids or instructional
Yeah, can you
materials.
come again? Can you come again?
I said one of the major problems about preparing lesson plan or teaching is the issue of instructional materials or instructional aids to use, especially for mathematics. Do we have a specific AI tool whereby probably if I want to teach a particular topic, I can prompt to design a maybe a flashcard or any material which I can use to teach a specific topic? Do we have a specific that is designed for instructional age designing or creation? Do we have any AI tool that
You
work
can
for
use
that?
you can use Diffit to do that. You can also use ChatGPT to to create flashcards. A good
Okay.
example of, if you, for example, Flint now, if you click on my activity, okay, I don't have an activity, but I can create an activity, and you can build it from scratch, or you can build it with their own bot. I can say, oh, okay, speak a word language with my student. Give my student problem solving practice. So I can I can say, so you want to create um, flashcards. Let's just see if this will work. Math flashcards on addition. And test their understanding. So okay, so I'll help you create a math addition flashcard activity that tests students' understanding. Let me set up as a graded activity with auto grading. So you see, it's working on it. So, and it's setting it up as an auto graded activity that it will continue to grade the students. Would you like me to change the activity? Looks good. I'll just say looks good. So let's create the activity. Share additional flashcard activity, no. All right, so I'm going to start this session, right? I will show you addition problem one at a time, just like a flashcard. Give me your best answer for each question and let you know you're correct. Let's start with this first problem, 7 plus 5. So it's not designing it, but it's creating it like a flashcard. So so if I say, let's say 7 plus 5 is 12, I give it 12. I answer the question. It's thinking, and then excellent, great job. Here's your next problem, 9 plus 4. This one didn't necessarily design the flashcard as you would expect, but he understands the task and he knows what flashcard is. So those are all. And once the student submits, it will also auto grade because I asked it to grade. It will grade the students. And then you can also set the criteria for grading also. So again, there are different use cases. You might not see one that will outrightly design the flashcards, but they will be able to generate questions based on your requirement and provide it to the students. The best way to engage students with that would be to create a chatbot for them to discuss. And you see, this, at the end of the day, it gives me the assessment, strengths, areas of improvement, and it gives the student proficient. Hello? All right, so all of that are examples of ways you can. Flint allows you to grade, it allows you to set different, and it gives you the feedback to see what's the student areas of strength, areas to improve, areas to follow up, and then you can automatically create an activity for follow up for that student. It depends on the use cases that you want to, it depends on what you want to do. And I think that's how to start. All right, we'll just round up here because it's more than 2 hours now. I think I just want to encourage every one of us as teachers that we can improve ourselves, and we should try as much as possible on a daily basis to see how we can improve ourselves, and that's the only way we can give our best to our students, by taking up all these opportunities. It has never been this easy to teach in terms of the availability of the tools to either teach or to also develop yourself. Even if you work in an environment maybe where your students don't have access to these resources. But the beauty of such resources is that it allows you to also prepare and be able to deliver your content and your lessons in a more professional and in a better way. With these tools, you can differentiate and meet different learners' need with most of these tools. You can set up lesson plans or stuffs, or exercises to meet different level of learners and their needs. And I want to encourage you that take all the opportunity you have to learn. Whenever there's an opportunity to learn, just keep learning, because that's the way you improve yourself, and that's the way you develop yourself professionally. If you're always welcome to join the TTC community. We'll always provide opportunities for teachers to learn and to keep improving themselves. There's a Google certified educator training that is going to start. I think in another batch will be starting in October. There's a webinar that will be on the last Saturday of this month. It will be about portfolio, crafting a portfolio for yourself. So the links, they are all going to be free. The links will be available. Feel free to join when the time comes. For the Google Classroom, for the Google Certified Educator Training, there's always a free voucher for the exam for the best 30 students within a class, depending on the size of the class. But there are some basic criteria that have to be met also. So I think that's just it from my end. I want to encourage every one of us to take the opportunity to learn, seek to improve yourself. And that's the way to go, especially now that we have access to some of these tools that would help us to improve ourselves. I want to thank every one of us for joining, and I also want to use this opportunity to thank the Cherry Arts team for making this happen. I look forward to closer collaborations with you and your team. Thank you very much. I would most likely work on the videos. It might take a few days, but I'll put it on the YouTube channel. You can go and get it from there. All right. I think that will be all for today. I will stop the recording now, and then thank you everyone for joining.